Welcome to my channel. I'm Megan. Today we're going to be doing a square knot heart plant hanger, and these are all of the supplies that you're going to need for this project. You're going to start off with 16 pieces of cord tied on with a lark's head knot, and you're going to take your first 4 pieces of cord and do a square knot, and we're going to do a row of square knots all the way to the end. Now that we have our 8 square knots at the top, we're going to skip the first 4 cords and go to the next 4. And I went about 2 inches down. If you want your plant hanger to be longer, you can go a little further down if you would like. But we're going to tie another square knot. Again, I did 2 inches down. And then you're going to do another square knot beside it. Now we're going to repeat this on the other side. I am going to skip the first 8 and start with these 4 here and try my best to line it up. If you measure, it's easier to line it up so that way you don't have to eyeball it, but I usually just eyeball it. But I know mine should be 2 inches below the top knot, so that makes it a little easier if it's hard, especially if you do it a little further down. So I'm going to tie this square knot in the same position as the others, and I'm going to do one more beside it, and that will be our first row. And for the next row, I'm just going to skip 2, and I'm going to tie a square knot right below this one. And we're going to do 3 square knots on this side. And then repeat the same thing on the right side, skip the first 2, and then do 3 square knots. And for the third row, you're going to do 4 knots on each side. So just start with the very first 4 cords, and do 4 knots on the left side, and then repeat the same pattern, 4 knots on the right side. Row 4, you will skip the first 2 cords, and you will do 7 square knots all the way to the other side. We're going to do square knots all the way across again. We're just going to be starting with the very first 4 cords, and we're going to do square knots all the way to the other side. This is where the heart will start decreasing, so we're going to skip the first 2 cords and do 7 knots across. Now skip 4 cords and you will have 6 knots across. And I'm sure you guys are seeing a pattern here. Now we're going to skip 6 cords to have 5 knots across. And now we're going to continue that pattern decreasing until we only have 1 knot in the center. So this one will have 4, the next row will have 3, 2, then 1. So just continue decreasing until you get your completed heart. And now we have completed the heart, so we need to just make a place for our plant to sit. Just to tell you guys in advance, sorry for the lighting issue that I had in this next part of the video. I actually did this a separate day, so apologize for the lighting and also for the band-aid. I hurt my finger and had to put a band-aid on, but I don't know what happened with my lighting, so hopefully you can still see what I'm doing here. And this part is actually pretty simple. We're going to continue with our square knots, but we just need to make a place for the plant to sit. For this, go down, I went about 9 inches down, and you get the 2 cords on each side, the first 2 cords on each side, and you just do a square knot with these. And now we're going to go around every 4 cords doing a square knot and just making it 9 inches down, just like the first one that we just did. I probably could have lined these up a little bit better, but once you finish, you won't be able to tell if they're a little bit off, but you can definitely adjust them and line them up perfectly. But now to piece these together, what we're going to do is we are going to take the first 2 cords from this right side here and the one in the front, the right side, and we're going to do a square knot to join them together. I did this knot about 1.5 inches down. And now we're going to continue going around and connecting each piece. So grab your next 4 and do another knot and keep going all the way around doing that until we get all the way back to the front. And once you connect the front with the far right, you will have the base for where your plant will sit. Now once you finish this, I recommend putting your plant inside just to see if you can adjust it. You can definitely take these bottom pieces and make them a little longer. It depends on the size pot that you're using or how long it is, but for me, this worked perfectly, and all I need to do now is to do my gathering knot to finish the project. I did my gathering knot right at 3 inches down. What you want to do, I have a 30-inch piece of cord, and then you have to make a loop with your cord. And whenever you start your gathering knot, you need a piece, the top piece needs to stick up a little bit. You just kind of have to hold it in place with one hand while you start wrapping it around, but keep that top piece sticking up and start doing your loops. I want to say that I did 5 loops. And then you're going to take the bottom piece of the cord and put it through the loop, and then you take this piece sticking up and you just pull up just enough to where the cord is hidden, and then you just need to trim your excess.